Welcome to Symptoms of the Universe, episode number 7. Actually today is this guy, Zach's birthday. He actually surpassed the 27 club, so
it means that I will never be great, but I also didn't die.
Well,
so.
I mean, you still have a chance at 33, like Ian Curtis. So there's still that opportunity. And after all, our boy Seth Putnam, R.I.P., died at 43. So we have him, and also Jackyling kicked it at 36. So there's still plenty of ages for you to die and become a legend.
And many legendary. Positive role models, Seth Putnam, Jackyling, for me to aspire to in my remaining years.
Very much so. These guys are good quality individuals who helped tell the youth the proper way to live. So,
and take music in new directions and foreign topics and things that hadn't been discussed before. Very brave men.
Very much so. But actually, we're brave men in a sense because we're here to defend a band that a lot of people do not like, and that is
when you say do not like. Okay, this band on my Facebook feed was lambasted. Is that the word? Whatever word it is.
Utterly destroyed. Utterly.
They were labeled to. People were like, "That is a second-rate AC/DC," or "That is a."
Oh no! People that's putting it lightly. That's putting it lightly. They're like, that's that hair metal band that came out after grunge but still managed to have a following. And this guy, he actually invites me out to the show at the Diesel Lounge, which...
Go Diesel.
And that band that we are going to defend with our lives is a southern rock band called Jackal. So basically, this guy right here, he goes, "Hey Ed, do you want to see Jackal? It's a Friday night. You want to go see Jackal?" And I go, "Jackal? The I Stand Alone band? The Down on Me lumberjack
chainsaw band?
Chainsaw band?" And he goes, "Yeah, that one." And I go, "Yeah." And that was that. We went, and everyone laughed at us. They're like, "Why would you?"
Yeah. I'm in a band, and I got a lot of negative feedback from my bandmates giving me shit about seeing the Jackal show. Like I said, they said second-rate AC/DC.
They said it was a hair metal band that came out after grunge, and so here, and that's where I want to defend them.
Yeah, because Jackal. Yeah, Jesse James had they did have long hair back in the day, but their sound to me is more akin to Blackfoot or Leonard Skinner or maybe AC/DC, not really like Poison.
No, not
or
at all.
Motley
And
Crue.
that was the big thing. Okay, so
or Winger.
So what was going
or
on?
Warrant.
What was going on?
Or any of those other bands like that you could throw in there. The Endless.
Yeah.
By the way,
Bullet Boys.
Quick plug right here.
Huh?
Warrant is a better band than people realize.
No, they're
okay?
not.
Uncle Tom's Cabin is a fantastic song.
Okay, we can agree, disagree. In 1992, what was going on in hard rock? Nirvana, Pearl Jam, grunge, basically.
Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Mudhoney, that whole Seattle scene.
And we like those bands. I love every single one of those bands. Those are great bands, but people basically lost. Everything had to be dark and angry and angsty
and there was actually a push in the industry, if you were a metal act at the time, to like distance yourself as far. You were supposed to say, we're an alternative rock band.
But anyway, so while all this was going on, this band Jackal comes out with an album in 1992 that's songs about that are just dirty and just being a long-haired hillbilly southern rocker without any reservations. They came out the album, they got long hair down to here. The album cover is almost like the Appetite for Destruction cover, only instead of skulls, they're dogs. They're all dogs on the cover.
Yeah, and actually you mentioned the content was almost fairly dirty for the time, dirty for mainstream radio at the time.
It was. I wouldn't say. It was no more dirtier than your typical AC/DC song, but it was just so. It wasn't the words they were saying; it was the way it was delivered. Like, "Dirty Little Mind" is no different than an AC/DC song like "Squealer" or what's it called? Big Balls, obviously, or any songs like that. But Jesse James Dupree had this filthy delivery and it was really cool too.
Yeah.
But the
it was a lot of fun.
Song that almost got me punched out at the Jackal show, check out our footage by the way, was "I Stand Alone," and I defy anyone to find a more angry riff than that opening riff in "I Stand Alone." It's so.
Well,
it just
the band was legitimately angry at the time. At the time, and this is the basis for the video for that song. Walmart would not carry any of their music. This was when that
Kmart wouldn't. Well,
Kmart.
I think both Marts wouldn't.
Basically, stores like that wouldn't carry their music, so they actually pulled up their tour bus out
on
in
a
the parking lots.
Truck.
Flatbed truck set up a stage on there and played right in the parking lots of these stores.
Everything you're about to see in this video is the real thing.
Stand alone today. Don't ask me why I just know I feel this way. I stand alone today.
They released "Push Comes to Shove" in '94 and continued. I mean, that's a great record. Their next one after that, it was called "Cut the Crap," and Brian Johnson from AC/DC is on it.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. You delved it deeper.
Locked and Loaded. Locked and Loaded has Brian Johnson from AC/DC on it. So it shows that Jackal is not some lightweight band. They've got the respect of someone like that. And
plus the depth of the music.
Yeah.
Secret of the Bottle. She Loves My Cock. Dirty Little Mind. Just these songs are depth. They're about something.
They're deep. Well, and the thing is though is that during the '90s, when everyone started wearing pants that could fit 5 people in them and these stupid wallet chains, there was eventually a return back to just pure rock with bands like Monster Magnet, for instance.
Yeah,
and,
love that. Space Lord.
But because of the alternative boom, there had to be a sort of postmodern edge to it. So you couldn't be 100% sincere in just wanting to rock. So then you had these bands like Nashville Pussy coming out. And I like Nashville. Do you like Nashville Pussy?
They're decent. Yeah, Ryder Size is a really underrated female guitar player. I would describe her as Ted Nugent in feminine form.
Well, yeah, well, we're not going to talk about how well.
Yeah, we don't want to get too far down this dirt road. You know what I mean? We got to talk about Jackal.
And the thing about that is that bands like Nashville Pussy and a lot of these rock bands had to overemphasize that they were rock bands. So it was like almost a joke. They deliberately had this over the top thing where the guy's got a huge beer belly and a beard down to here, and so it was like almost like it was like a parody. But they still like the music. But Jackal never did that. So here they are years later, and I just got their new album, Best in Show. Well, I'm sorry. Their newest one's coming out in August. I got their last one, Best in Show. And it's phenomenal hard rock, but there's none of that postmodern trying to appeal to the hipsters kind of thing that a lot of these hard rock bands are doing.
Jackal stayed true to Jackal.
There's the second track on there. It's called "She Makes the Room Go Boom, Boom." She makes the room go boom. And then what's even cooler is that they did a duet. Jackal actually had DMC of Run DMC.
Yeah.
And they did a cover of "Tricky."
Yeah. So there's a lot there to offer, and I always thought it was cool that they've actually done a couple songs with Run DMC.
Did they?
So, yeah, they kind of like AC/DC, or sorry, Aerosmith did that song.
"Walk This Way." They did just like Aerosmith's "Walk This Way." They did a couple of them. Check them out. They're good songs too. And the cool thing about it is that Jesse James Dupree on "Tricky" sounds like Jesse James Dupree. So he's still doing his it's tricky. He's not trying to rap. He's just doing.
He's being the rocker and letting the rappers rap.
Yeah, it's super cool.
You talked a minute ago about sort of the image with this band and the sexualization, but what I thought was cool is that I went with my girlfriend, and I didn't feel like female members of the audience were alienated by this music. It was more like it was understood that it was schlock and that it was fun and there wasn't like seriousness. Like,
well, I mean, but that's always been the case. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying though. To people who may not realize that, if you just hear it and you don't realize that, you know, this is not a band that carries itself too seriously. Jackal is not serious music. It's a good time.
Well, okay,
you go and have a good time. They have a lot of audience participation type songs, and they make their show very much about the crowd, and that's why I think they have longevity, because when you go to Jackal, you feel like they want you to have a good time. You want them to have a good time. There's a good energy back and forth.
Well, you also realize that
it's really positive thing.
Well, the other thing that, as far as their touring and their live concerts go, you know how bands like Manowar pride themselves on breaking sound barriers. I think that's not anywhere near as cool as Jackal breaking number of concert barriers. Like, you know that
they have a shirt that you can buy there, or like it's on their merchandise. It says always on tour.
Well, actually, and that's true because they actually are in the Guinness Book of World Records for performing the most amount of concerts in a single day. So I don't know what constitutes an entire concert, whether that's a 20-minute set or a 40-minute set, but they are in the Guinness Book of World Records for that, and they're in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most amount of shows over a short period of time. And I pride bands who basically are always on the road, always
doing
performing.
It the old-fashioned way, doing it the Lemmy way.
Yep. And the other interesting thing that I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, was the guitarist. They actually dropped one guitarist, and I apologize for not knowing their name. I know one of them's like, gosh.
I'm not going to pull this out. Jesse James is the guy, you know.
But the one guitarist dresses like Tim Armstrong from Rancid. I don't know if you noticed that, but
I did notice there was something about that guy.
That he looked like a punk rock, kind of like he was making fun of a punk rock kind of guy. He had like a tie on and like a fedora, and he was doing these kind of punk rock poses while jamming out. It's really cool. I mean, this band has charisma on stage.
Yes.
And like they are still they're still trying to be a cock rock band. They're not trying to be funny about it. I mean, they have a sense of humor, but they still have that old-fashioned.
They take their fun seriously.
They take their fun seriously, and they're serious with they rock. I love Jackal.
Yeah,
it's a great band.
We had a really good time, and if you go see Jackal, you will too.
Say, I solemnly swear that I will raise immortal hell. I will raise immortal hell. Until Jackal gets back here and this will still like.
Oh yeah, and yes, there was an unconventional musical instrument played at this concert. Remember what that thing was?
It was a
table?
Violin?
It was a table.
A table? No, I thought it was a...
There was a table there.
Wait a minute, was it a saw?
Yeah, it was one of these things.
Yeah.
Chainsaw.